All right, week 10, a lot of upsets, a lot of broken hearts, a lot of sad teams that are really struggling. Stay tuned right here on Top 10. All right, number 10 this week, the Miami Dolphins. Now, Miami has beaten a lot of weak teams, but guess what? They still have a great record. They still have Tua. They still have all those great players. They're my number 10 this week. Number 9 this week, Seattle. Geno Smith. Geno Smith, every week now, he's throwing for big yards. He's winning in the last part of the game. He's allowed his team to win down the stretch. Seattle is my number 9 team this week in the NFL. Number 8 this week. Number 8 is the Cleveland Browns. Now, Cleveland does it on defense. They're big, they're physical, and tough on defense. Deshaun Watson this week came through down the stretch for them, allowed them to get the field goal and win the game. Guess what? Against the Baltimore Ravens. Can you believe it? Cleveland Browns, my number 8. Number 7 for me this week is the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud goes into Cincinnati and beats Joe Burrow. I mean, he engineers another victory in the last second. Houston Texans wins. They are my number 7 team in the National Football League. My number 6 team this week is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, they had a disappointing last-second loss to the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore Ravens, my number 6 team this week, Baltimore, disappointing loss. At 5 this week, hey, the top 5 this week, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Dallas just annihilated the New York Giants, embarrassed the New York Giants. They didn't look like a professional football team this week, the New York Giants. But look, the Dallas Cowboys are loaded, and they'll show it to you that they are legit when they're on. The Dallas Cowboys this week is my number 5 team. My number 4 team this week, wow, the Detroit Lions, guys. Everybody's excited about Detroit. Offense, defense, running backs. I mean, those guys are good. The head coach, Dan Campbell, Detroit is my number 4 this week. I heard somebody say something about a Super Bowl with Detroit. You never know. Detroit is legit. They're for real. They're my number 4 team in the National Football League. The number 3 team this week in the NFL, that's right, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, you can make a case to put San Fran wherever you want. I have grand predictions for them. They came out last week and wow, they just crushed with Bosa and Chase Young at defensive end, Armstrong in the middle. There's all these big physical guys. They're loaded on offense. Deebo Samuel, Brock Purdy, and all the boys. Listen, San Francisco, when they're on clicking on all cylinders, nobody can beat that team. But this week, they're number 3. My number 2 team in the National Football League, Philadelphia, had an off week, had a bye week, needed a bye week after squeaking out of that victory versus Dallas. They can get themselves well. Philadelphia is my number 2 team in the league, and you can't knock them. They've only got 1 loss. Philadelphia Eagles is my number 2 team in the NFL. The number 1 team who's holding strong and who's got the audacity to talk about Kansas City with Pat Mahomes. Come on, the best player on earth, as I've said it over and over. Kansas City is my number 1 team in the National Football League this week. And that is the top 10 this week. All right, each week we talk rookies, and the top 3 rookies this week, number 1 is Michael Mayer from the Las Vegas Raiders. Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame had a big catch in the end zone that helped the Raiders win this game versus the Jets. Michael Mayer is a talented, big tight end who you're going to hear a lot from. Michael Mayer. My number 2 rookie this week is Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama plays for Detroit. This guy is legit. Boy, he's exciting. Looked good this week. They have a fine young running back in Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs is my number 2. And the number 1 rookie this week is C.J. Stroud. C.J. goes into Cincinnati with the Houston Texans and get the win. They beat Joe Burrow. If you didn't know better, you would think C.J. Stroud was the best player on that field, not Joe Burrow. C.J. Stroud is the real deal. The number one rookie this week was C.J. Stroud. All right, Pam, you've compiled questions. And what do you have for us this week?
Well, this week, hello, I'm Pamela Lowery. And you know what? I've loved this journey that we're doing with football. And I'm learning a lot as I go. I thought I knew some stuff about football, you guys, but I was totally wrong. Now, my first question, other than everyone sitting there questioning, I have my own questions because I want to know what's going on. And my first question to you is, the San Francisco 49ers had 3 losses in a row. But then recently, they just had a big win in Jacksonville. So what's that about? What are they looking like? When stuff like that happens, what's going on?
Well, you know how I feel about San Francisco. I always thought they were an elite team. Now you bring in Chase Young with Nick Bosa. Brock Purdy's playing. Deebo Samuel's back. They have all the weapons. They are loaded, a loaded roster, and I love their coaching. Kyle Shanahan. I can talk about this team forever. They're great. Okay. So, yeah, they are real. Okay. That is a big-time team, and they're back.
But what makes them great, though? Because they were losing.
Well, they had some injuries. In football, when you have injuries, it could affect your game. Okay. And Purdy sort of hit a wall, but now they're back, and they have more talent than anybody in the NFL.
Okay, talent.
Yeah, they have the talent and skill.
Okay.
And coaching.
Okay, see, are you personal? Come on now. So he's always talking about talent.
No.
Talent. And every week, it seems as though you mention C.J. Stroud. Okay, C.J. Stroud this, C.J. Stroud that. Is he an MVP candidate?
Well, right now, C.J.'s got the rookie MVP in his back pocket. You're not going to find a rookie. He's the best rookie arguably to come into the NFL in history, okay? C.J. Stroud. This guy is dynamic. This guy is a wizard. He can throw the ball all over the place. He's quick physically, mentally, physically. He understands how to play the position. He's fun to watch.
No, wait a minute. You're saying some big things. Football in history.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been watching football. I've been in pro football the last 35 years.
Okay.
And I've been watching football for at least 50 years. So I've seen all those great players.
So what makes C.J. Stroud so great, though?
He's got the meter. He's got the stuff in his head. He's smooth, he's calm, he's poised. And it's natural for him. Okay. He can do things that most people struggle to do.
Okay, so if there's a young person out there watching this show today and they're in C.J. Stroud's shoes as it relates to their position, what would you recommend to them?
Well, that's God-given gifts now. You're not just going to wake up. Everybody's not going to be C.J. Stroud. Okay. C.J. Stroud is 1 in a million. Okay. 1 in millions. Okay. There's only 1 of 1 in C.J. Stroud. He might be the best ever rookie to play in the NFL in the history of the game. I can say that. I've seen guys for the last 35 years that I've evaluated, and I've been watching football for the last 50 years. C.J. Stroud could be the best rookie in the history. That's the conversation with C.J. Stroud.
Okay, now everyone, Lionel has had crazy experience in the NFL, right? But just as though we love Bill Belichick. Everyone always had talked about the Patriots, Bill Belichick, and everything that has gone on with his legacy in football. Right now, the Patriots look a hot mess. Now, you have had the experience, not only the experience, but Bill Belichick brought you on in the NFL in personnel. So you know him personally, you have a personal connection. What is going on in New England right now is a hot mess.
Yeah, I have let's start with this. I have mad love for Bill Belichick. He's probably my number 1 guy in the NFL when it comes to mad love. I have nothing but respect for that man, okay? But what's happening right now in New England is it's a mess. It's a mess. Mac Jones has been a failure, that quarterback that's there.
Whoa.
I mean, they've put a lot of faith in him. With Bill Belichick, Coach Belichick's legacy, I would not put my legacy on Mac Jones, okay? That's too much to give to Mac Jones.
So what should he do?
Run him off.
Okay.
Well, my thing right now is going to come down to coaches may have to leave New England.
wow.
Yeah, he may have to leave because right now it's a mess. If you bring back Mac Jones next year or take a chance with another guy that's not good, that's ugly. Now we got a big problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Coach stays there. I love you, Coach Belichick.
Yes.
Love you. But you can't win with Mac Jones. It's a bad situation. It's kind of hard to watch on a weekly basis. Hey, listen, I'm not saying anything new.
Okay.
Everybody who knows football will say that.
Okay.
We all watch the game.
Yes. So these are big words. Again, if you have your questions, continue to send them in. But I have one more question because I'm learning even more each week as it goes with football. Now, Buffalo. Buffalo has been doing their thing, but in the Monday night game, it was horrible. What would you say is going on with
Everything in Buffalo goes through Josh Allen.
Okay.
Now, Josh Allen is 50-50 when it comes to throwing touchdowns, throwing picks. Now, the defense is not playing at the highest level for them, so they're giving up drives. So when the defense gives up drives, you need your quarterback to come through. Josh Allen has been bad. Last night, he was almost like a deer in the headlight.
Oh, wow.
It was ugly. It was ugly. And Buffalo has lost game after game. Buffalo is not a team that's going to lose 4 and 5 games within a stretch like that. That was ugly football. Going against Russell Wilson, they made Denver look like it was vintage Denver. Vintage Russell Wilson. It was ugly.
So, if you have any questions, our goal is just to get them, send them to me right here or put them in the chat right here on Top 10.
Week 10 in the books. Thank you guys for watching Top 10. And remember, everybody loves football.